Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am extremely happy to invite Mrs. Sonal Goel, who is IAS by profession. Mrs. Sonal Goel joined the IAS in 2008 and has dedicated over a decade to the service of the nation. She secured an All India 13th rank in the UPSC examination 2007 and joined as an assistant collector in Tripura in 2008. As of June 22, she is posted as a resident commissioner at Tripura Bhawan, New Delhi. She was selected in the top 25 Women Transforming India by the United Nations Niti Aayog My Government in September 16. She has completed her graduation from SRCC Sri Ram College of Commerce DU and did her CS course from ICSI. Along with CS, she has completed her LLB and MA from Public Policy stream. Welcome, Mrs. Sonal Goel, ma'am, to our talk show, Professional Talks. Welcome, ma'am, to the Professional Talk Show.
Thank you so much. A very good morning and namaste to everyone. Thank you.
Namaste, ma'am. See, ma'am, what is the vision of this talk show? There are so many members and students who are preparing for the competitive exams, but there are some failures and obstacles in their life due to failure in the examination, due to failure in the attempts. So we had taken this initiative to motivate and inspire to the young members and students in the country.
Very nice initiative.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And we will start our professional talk show by your introduction from the start of your schooling journey to the college journey.
So I am Sonal Goel. I am an IAS officer of 2008 batch. And if I talk about my native place, we belong to Panipat district, Haryana. But my father is a chartered accountant. So Papa set up his own practice in Delhi, and due to that reason, we have had the all schooling, all education, academic and professional both in Delhi only. And I did my schooling from DAV Public School, Pitampura. And after that, I did my graduation from Sri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi University. And along with that, I am also a company secretary, CS I completed in 2004. And I am also a law graduate, LLB from Delhi University. So I am also a fellow colleague of the CS fraternity, CS professional fraternity, and I am very happy to be amongst all of you. And I have also done MA Public Policy from IGNOU in public after I entered the civil services.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, after clearing your CS exam and LLB exam, what made you to choose the profession like IAS, IAS service? What chose you to make the civil servant, ma'am? Because you had already completed your CS and LLB course, and I think you had doing the private job that time. And what is the main reason, ma'am, for to converting to the from CS profession to choosing the civil servant exam?
So I would rather term it like that it was not that after LLB I joined the civil services, but I would briefly take the viewers to my journey. So when I was doing my graduation from Sri Ram College of Commerce way back in 2003, along with that I was also doing company secretary course. At that time, doing CS along with graduation was allowed. So I had appeared for my second stage intermediate examination of CS, and I read about civil services in one of the magazines. I read about UPSC, I read about how civil servants are helping in growth and development of the nation, and I was very much motivated. It gave me a kind of a jolt from inside that I should at least try once. So, but then till that time, there was no discussion in my mind, and there was no such, in fact, nobody in my family had ever attempted to be in civil services. So when I discussed this with my parents, especially my father, so they were all taken by surprise, because shifting from a corporate or private sector profile to a government and administration, that too becoming a civil servant, the examination is very tough, in the sense that more than so if we talk about today, so 10 lakh plus aspirants fill the prelims form, and it is hardly a few hundreds jisme you are selected. So selection is not sure. Then even after selection, which service you will get, even after service, which cadre you will get, and then where will you be posted, and how will you settle your family life. All these apprehensions came into the mind of my parents, especially my father. But then
Yes,
when I kept on discussing and I tried to convince them, so he was very much, he agreed, and then he also said that you should have a plan B in life. So by plan B, he meant that if I don't clear civil services, then my energy and efforts, which are invested, say for 2 to 3 years, they should not be wasted. And he firmly believed that everybody, especially the female child, especially the girl child, should be in future financially and economically empowered. So he said, ki, since you will be educated, you should not be wasting your effort, time, energy, and there should be a plan B. So, taking my father's advice, I completed my graduation in 2004. I completed my CS in 2000. I completed my graduation in 2003. Completed my CS in 2004, and in the same year, I appeared for LLB entrance from Delhi University, and I got admission into LLB. I started my law, which was a regular course. So from
okay,
2004 2007, these three things were parallel in my life. My focus was preparation of civil services. I was also doing part-time job as a company secretary. I worked in two organizations for almost 2 years, almost 3 years,
okay,
and I was also attending the law classes. So I would term it like this, that I actually utilized the time during which I was preparing for civil services. When I was preparing for civil services, these 3 years I completed my law also, and I also gained some professional experience for two reasons. Firstly, I should also know the professional aspects after becoming CS, and I also thought that since I am professionally qualified, I should also finance my higher studies, if not fully, then at least to some extent. I should be financially earning for myself for financing my higher education for preparation of civil services. So this
okay.
was how I came into civil services, and fortunately, with my effort, with my determination, my parents and family support, and the blessings of Almighty, I cleared the examination. It was in my second attempt that I cleared. My first attempt was in 2006. In that, I got the interview. I did not get the interview call. I wrote mains only. I was very much demotivated. But then I recollected all my energy and effort, and I could clear in 2007 examination, and the final results came in May 2008. So that is how my batch is 2008 batch, and I got All India rank 13th. So I
Okay,
thank my parents, my family, and also Almighty for blessing all my efforts and giving me an opportunity of serving the people and society through civil services.
that's very inspirational, ma'am, and that's very motivational for the students also. And ma'am, see, what is the ma'am major obstacles while doing UPSC? And you was from the commerce background, and is CS or LLB helps you in clearing your UPSC examination?
I think obstacles, though, even if you study civil services or you study any other competitive examination, especially if you are doing it after graduation. So after graduation, most of the candidates would be either pursuing some other higher education course. It may be a correspondence course, if not a regular course, and some may be taking up job. That may be a part-time or a full-time job. Some may also get married. Especially in our country, we cannot ignore the fact that even today, girls, especially in rural areas, do not get so many number of years to invest in their education, to invest in their study time, the way we give somewhat more leverage to a male candidate. So for a female, this also is a challenge. And even though India has seen a patriarchal dominated mindset society, and even I faced a lot of challenges when I was preparing. I'm talking way back in 2003-4 when I decided to be in civil services. So since then, even though there have been a lot of advancements, women are occupying leadership positions, but still there are some inherent inhibitions even today which are existing for the society. So first, I think first challenge is definitely your managing the number of years which you have. So for example, if you are thinking that you have to prepare for civil services, तो कितने साल आपके पास available हैं? This should be clear in your mind. And I would mention that at least 1 year prior to prelims and the year in which you are preparing for examination, 2 years are minimum required for clearing your civil services, and sometimes it is more. So for example, I invested almost 3 years because first attempt में मेरा नहीं हुआ, so मेरा जो selection हुआ second attempt में हुआ. So this is one thing. Also another thing, the challenges may be, balancing your personal and professional life, and also if you are married, then balancing that aspect also. And time management will always be an issue. Time management, whether even if you are studying fully, even if I have seen candidates जो 100% सिर्फ civil services की या और भी competitive examinations की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, even for them time management becomes an issue. So we have to understand that you have to be focused in your life. I always say for younger generation that you should identify your VGPA. VGPA is an acronym which I use. So vision, goal, plan and action. Vision, goal, plan and action. What is your overall vision? So after 3 years, after 5 years, what is it, where is it that you want yourself to be? आप अपने आप को कैसे देखते हो? Then after your vision is clear, after your burning purpose is clear, you should also have a goal. So the goals are the achievable units. कि आपको अगर वहां तक पहुंचना है तो इस साल में क्या करना होगा, what is it that you need to do in coming 6 months, in coming 1 year, and then you plan कि वो करना है तो कैसे कैसे उसका प्लान, आपको कैसे कैसे स्टेप्स रहेंगे, so what you need to do, and then you take action. So VGPA, vision, goal, plan and action, that is very important. And once you are clear, of course these things are very easy to say, very, very much difficult to have that clarity, especially in such a young age when you are in early 20s. Many of the things may not be clear to you, but somehow you have to understand your strength, your limitations, and also identify what is it that you want to do in life. And the word which we are using today, quarantine, we have used this word from past 2 years that one is under quarantine. So when you are studying, when you're preparing for any examination, you practically should be selfish in your time and have a life in which you decide your priorities, what is important for you. And I would say that I was in a kind of quarantine when I was preparing for civil services. I was not attending social functions, not meeting relatives. Even they would come at home and I was not meeting them. They would also indirectly criticize. But then it is the choices which you have to make. I think that is the most important thing, which all the aspirants, all the younger generation need to understand.
Exactly, ma'am. And you had mentioned that for the woman or for the girl, there is much struggle after marriage and all. And ma'am, recently UPSC has declared result, and there are 3 toppers who are girl. So what is your insights, or what is your viewpoints of clearing the female candidate topping the UPSC exams, ma'am?
It is very heartening to see the increase in the percentage of women in bureaucracy and civil services. If we see the percentage in our country, so I belong to the IAS. In IAS, I think the percentage will not be more than 15 to 17% till now. So since India got independence and the officers got selected in the Indian Administrative Service, so percentage will not be more than 15-17%. In Indian Police Service, it may not be more than 10%. If we see other services like Indian Revenue Service, Audit and Accounts, percentage would be a little bit higher. But in general, it is still, as a totality, it is not more than 20%. So we need to understand that we need more females, more women in bureaucracy, more women in leadership role, because it gives a gender orientation, it gives a gender sensitivity, not only in the policy making, but also in the implementation, the way in which things are being interpreted. And we have to understand that for a society to move in balance, that equilibrium is very much required. And we all have seen how young girls have been performing in their roles, not only in the civil services but also in private sector, in corporate sector, in science and technology, in education. We have seen so many health workers, female health workers who have who have fought for our country during COVID-19 pandemic. So we all need to improvise the education for girls. We also need to give them equal access to opportunity. So this equal access to opportunity, उनको समान अधिकार और समान अवसर प्राप्त होना बहुत ज़्यादा आवश्यक है. And given an opportunity, a girl, a female tries to give her best, and she definitely outshines the boys. So I am not undermining the efforts of the male fraternity in our country, but what I am trying to say is that we need to encourage more and more girls and women to come forward to join not only civil services, all other kind of professions, so that we have a gender balanced ecosystem in our society. And we have seen that there is no limit to what we as women and we as women can accomplish. We all need to teach them, we all need to nurture them, we all need to empower them. That is the need of our, and it is the collective responsibility of all stakeholders in the society. Right.
Exactly, ma'am. And ma'am, there is a conclusive question here. See, there are so many students who are preparing for the UPSC and SSC also, apart from the professional courses. So ma'am, there are so many failures in their attempts. So the attempts matters for the clearing the exam, because after giving to 4 to 5 attempts, they got nervous and depressed for their examination preparation. So what is your message to the students who had failed so many attempts in the competitive exams?
I think मेरी तरफ से one suggestion I would like to give is that we should not have unlimited attempts. We should not give unlimited attempts. One thing is this is a caution which I would like to give to all aspirants, because do not just think कि आपको जो भी life में achieve करना है that would be only through civil services. It is not like that. There are many other professions, many other vocations. You also can be an entrepreneur, have your own practice. So if you don't clear into any competitive examination, that is not the end of the world. I am not criticizing the people who are appearing for unlimited years. Recently, when the civil services result was announced, I read about somebody who had tweeted that that person has appeared for 10 attempts for civil services, and he has appeared for 10 attempts, and in that he is writing कि he appeared for these many mains, कितना उन्होंने interview personality test appear किया. So my question to my own self when I read about him, I'm not criticizing, due respect to his energy, due respect to his efforts and determination that he kept on pursuing what he wanted. But my question was कि to myself, we all need to ponder कि हम 10 साल क्यों लगा रहे हैं? Why are we investing our prime 10 years of youth in clearing one examination? Exactly. Why is it so much required? There must be definitely some alternative. Why don't we look out for such alternatives? So for my own case, मैंने सोचा था कि 2 या 3 अटेम्प्ट से ज़्यादा मैं नहीं दूंगी. इसीलिए मेरा लाइफ में जो प्लान बी का जो मैंने बात किया, that was in a way clear in my mind, and my plan was that if I wanted to work for the nation and society, so my plan B was that I would join corporate sector, or maybe later on have my own corporate legal kind of a practice, and I will have my own NGO. NGO to help the people, to help the society. So my vision has been to help the people and do something good for the society. So for that reason, I thought if I would not be able to clear civil services, at least I will have my own NGO or some other organization, जिससे I will be able to do some service to the society. So my advice to all the aspirants, serious aspirants, is do not waste your time unnecessarily. It is very important to, इसीलिए मैंने विजन, गोल, प्लान और एक्शन की बात करी. You have to understand कि अब से 3 साल बाद आप अपने आप को कहाँ देख रहे हैं. उसको अचीव करने के लिए आपको आज क्या करना है, आपको अगले साल में क्या करना है. These all the things, these action plan, these road maps are very important. Frankly, मेरी लाइफ में मेरे पास इतना एक्सपोजर नहीं था. We never had mobile. There was no advent of social media. Now this younger generation, they have all kind of access to information. So much information is available on Google, YouTube, all social media platforms. So they should understand what is it important for them. And my request has been that do not waste your time unnecessarily. If you are not able to clear through one examination in 2, 3 or 4 attempts, just switch to another thing, and that another thing might work for you much better than what you had expected.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly.
So I think that is very important.
Ma'am, adding to the conclusive question, one final question I want to add here. After that, I'll not take you much time. What is your
Sure.
insights as a journey of the IAS officer after 15 years of experience as an IAS officer? What is your insights, or like, and as a career you choose of an IAS? Share your major insights there.
As an IAS officer, I was fortunate enough to work in 2 states. I worked in Tripura, I worked in Haryana. And in Tripura, the initial more than 7 years of my posting, they were more or less in field only. I worked as assistant collector, I worked as SDM. As SDM, I worked in almost primarily a tribal dominated subdivision, in which we had village committees in which tribal population was residing. And similarly, in my later years of experience also in Tripura, my postings were both in rural and urban areas. I worked as the collector also, in wherein we took lot of initiatives towards health, welfare, child education, and Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Abhiyan, National Rural Livelihood Mission, National Manrega. So all these things were quite satisfactory. And then I came to Haryana on intercareer deputation. In Haryana, I worked for 4 years. In Haryana also, my postings were in field only. And they were again mix of both rural and urban. So I think last 14 years of my service have been quite enriching. I got lot of opportunities to work for the people, and 2, 3 things are very important as an administrator. I have always realized that you have to build your teams. So team building, team spirit and leadership, that is very important. You have to empower them, encourage them, and also allow them to deliver, and ensure that the initiatives, the good things which you are trying to start during your tenure are sustainable. So they are sustainable in the sense that even if you are transferred, they are being carried on. So one thing is this. The another thing is that public participation and that link with that connect with the society is very important. As an administrator, I cannot ensure effective public service delivery of any scheme unless and until we are having that connect with the society. There has to be a C to G governance and G to C governance, citizen to government and government to citizen. It has to be a two-way process. Of course, digital initiatives under Digital India, they have helped us a lot. And a lot of states, central government, many schemes, they have made a lot of progress under that account, but we need to improvise on that. So I think as an administrator, it has been a varied experience. I term it like this, that from a girl who was staying in a protective environment of her family when I was way back in 2002-3, to a woman who is an administrator and who has served in various parts of the country, including the tribal, remote, hardcore areas. So this is me. I think I have evolved. I have learned a lot, and I think I have been blessed to get all such kind of opportunities to work for my nation and for the people.
Your story is really meaningful for me and for the viewers also. And ma'am, I'm really thankful to you for joining us on the professional talk show, ma'am.
Thank you. One last message, I would like to end it with an anecdote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji, जिनको मैं लाइफ में एक ही बार मिल पाई when he had come to our college when I was in my graduation. But sir's books, his poetry has always inspired. Especially he was a leader for the younger generation. So he said that my message, especially to the young people, is to have the courage to think differently, the courage to invent, the courage to travel the unexplored path, the courage to discover the impossible, and the courage to conquer the problems and succeed in life. So Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam had always believed Even Swami Vivekananda ji had always believed in the power and qualities of the young Indians, of the youth of the nation. So my message to all the youth who will be listening to this show, who will be listening to this talk show, is that have faith in your own self, have faith in your capabilities, and whatever career and profession you choose, let us all try and contribute towards nation building. That is very important. Do not forget that we are all Indians. We should take pride to be Indians and contribute towards nation and society in whatever mechanism, small or big, possible at your level. So thank you so much, and my best wishes to all the aspirants, all the younger people, to do good in their life. And most important thing is that you all should stay healthy and happy. That is more important. Give attention to your physical and mental health, and also stay happy in your life. Thank you so much for having me over here. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, ma'am.